Today I want to talk about something that I think has come up in the past, and it's undoubtedly going to come up again because it's a big situation, a big thing we all have to face, especially when we're leaders. If you are running your own business or you have a leadership role within your organization, or you're the leader or one of the leaders of your family, this is something that you're going to deal with, and that is holding people accountable for their actions. A lot of folks find themselves really backed into a corner, but as the leader, you shouldn't be retreating and backing up. You should really be stepping into the power of your role, not in an abusive type of way, but you are the leader. And if you don't step into that power, you're leaving a void. And it's just human nature to fill voids. We don't really like awkward silences. We try to fill them. We don't like an empty bowl at a party, so we fill it back up with chips. I mean, whatever the thing is, we don't like voids. It's just something we try to fill. And the thing is that when we are responsible for filling that void with leadership and graceful authority and things like that, and we don't do it, someone else is going to step into that. And most likely it's not going to be someone that we want, right? So if it's someone above you, that's a bad situation, because then the whole message is you aren't up for the task, right? You are not up for stepping into the power of your role. If it is someone who's at the same level of you, it's really the same type of implication that you can't really handle it, and so someone's going to have to kind of step in, and maybe your peer is stepping in so that to kind of protect you from your boss doing the same thing. But it's not great. Retreating back is never a good feeling. And when it's someone who reports up to you, it's a really big problem, because that person doesn't have the full picture. They're not privy to the meetings you are having with other people in leadership. They don't know all the ins and outs. So they have an agenda of their own, right? Their agenda is to get what they want, to shape things and mold things in a way that benefits them. And that's not always going to benefit you or everybody else in your organization, or especially on your team. So it's important that you understand, if you find yourself retreating when you should hold somebody accountable for actions or decisions, it's leaving that void, and it's not a good look to have it filled by anybody else but you. The other thing is that people who report to you need to have faith and confidence that you can figure things out that are going to benefit everybody. You don't always have to know the answer immediately. You don't have to have all the answers. You can facilitate collaborative decision making. There's no problem with that. Get people to help you, yes. But you do it on your terms. It's not in response to somebody. It's you stepping into your power and asking questions, tapping into wonder and curiosity, and getting people to talk and share ideas. That is perfectly fine. They need to know that the people who report to you need to know and need to feel confident, and they need to know that you can help solve the problems and address the issues and help them get where they need to go. If you don't step into that power and somebody else does, that leaves your whole team feeling wobbly and unstable. You've got to really set this foundation. And the other thing is, don't be so afraid of people not liking you. Because here's the deal. Some people are not going to always like you. They may generally like you, and they may not love a couple decisions you made. You can't please everybody. And it's just like that old saying, if you try to please everybody, you end up pleasing nobody. Approach things with your whole heart, and I promise, it will all work out. Do things with your whole heart and do your best, and things will work out. And they may not always go smoothly, but then you can learn from that kind of stuff. When you're not stepping into the power of your role and you're not holding people accountable, it creates these chaotic situations. People feel like they can get away and do anything. And even when that's not in somebody's nature, it's really demotivating to feel like, well, it doesn't matter what I do or what I say because nothing ever happens to anybody anyway. No one's going to like you all the time. And there may be some people on your team who hardly ever like you. They have a choice. They can continue to work for you, or they can go somewhere else. You can talk to them about it. You can find out their perspective and what might help them to stay. But if that's not in alignment with your core values, with how you operate, that is okay. It doesn't mean anyone's right or wrong or good or bad. It just means you're not going to be in alignment. And that is okay too. It's not about judging these things, good, bad, right, or wrong. It's just about accepting what is. And that is hard. I make it sound so easy. Just accept what is. Oh, magic unicorns and rainbows. I wish I had a magic unicorn to help you with this, but it really is practice. It's muscle memory. You remember the first time you did a real squat, like not just a half sort of squat, but like a real squat, and then maybe you did 5 or 10 of them, and it hurt then, and then the next day came, and you didn't think it could get worse. It got worse the next day. But then you kept at it, and while it's still hard, I mean, a squat is never going to feel easy, because they're going to tell you, oh, it feels easy? Add 25 pounds. What? But it's never going to feel easy, but you can feel like you are more in control of the situation. You can feel yourself stepping into the power of your role. And while challenging conversations and holding people accountable, it doesn't always feel great. It's going to feel worse as things get more and more out of hand. I can't stress that enough. And really, you all know this. The more things get out of hand, the harder it is to rein it back in. The harder it is then to step into your power. Because you have to get rid of all the people who are filling the void, who are squatting in your place of power. So that's why it feels so hard, and it's harder to rein it in. But just take one step. And holding people accountable doesn't necessarily need to be a punishment type of thing. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. If feedback doesn't work, like that was a really big goof up. What can we do to learn forward? Okay, this, I can't stress enough. We've got to take different action next time. I believe in you. That's okay. If that kind of stuff doesn't work, if that's just kind of poo-pooed, sometimes there does need to be a little bit of a punitive type consequence where, there may be a verbal warning and a formal acknowledgement of a verbal warning, that type of thing. But whatever it is, step into your power with your whole heart, and it's going to be okay. If you don't step in, someone else is going to fill the void, and I guarantee you're not going to like that outcome. It's going to be far worse than really stepping into the power of your leadership position. All right, guys, good luck. You can do it. I believe in you. Step into the power of your position and work to hold people accountable. All right, you got this. Talk to you soon.